candidate for U.S. Senate. I'm an immigration attorney. I started my own practice 14 years ago, with nothing. I built it from the ground up, and I'm the granddaughter of immigrants. My grandparents came fresh off the boat from Sicily to live the American dream, and that's basically what I do every day. I help my clients' American dreams come true, and I work with families bringing their relatives here, and with small businesses from biotech and nanotech to social workers and nurses and doctors across the board. So I have a very broad and diverse experience with small businesses and helping them create jobs for immigrants and U.S. workers and being the engine of the economy. And then I also represent asylum seekers who are fleeing persecution in their home countries. I recently won a very important case for a client who was gay from Uganda, and he's now safe here. And I also won a recent case for women who were vulnerable to sex trafficking. So that's what I do, and that's the kind of advocacy that I bring to the table. And the most important thing right now is jobs. And I have a couple of ideas on that. First of all, if we spent $100 billion over the next 2 years, we would generate 2 million green jobs. Those aren't just any jobs, those are skilled craft sector jobs, good union jobs. I'm a strong supporter of unions. My grandfather worked at GE and was a member of a union for 40 years. And we can do that. As a federal government, we can compete in the market. And once the private sector sees that we're creating jobs and we're generating revenue, you can bet that they're going to come along and they'll want to get in on the action. That's one idea. Another idea is we give all of our money away to these banks, these too big to fail organizations, and we give no terms. Congress is made up by a bunch of lawyers, but they were sleeping or out at the bar when they had Contracts 101 because they don't know how to put terms into a contract. How about if the banks want our money, they're going to have to give 20% of their money, our money, the federal government, the taxpayers' money, as loans to small businesses, and we're going to cap their percentage rate at 4%. And the banks are going to scream, and guess what? They don't have to take our money. We'll give it to the community banks and the local banks, and it'll stay right in our hometown, and it will create jobs. So, immigration. That's what I do. I'm the expert in the field on this, and I have a long history. Not only am I a practitioner, but I've been a leader in the Bar Association. I've been on national liaison committees, and I've been in the room with the Department of Homeland Security and the Immigration Customs Enforcement. So I know both inside and out. Like I say, I fight the federal government, and I win. So immigration, we're going to reform it because we haven't touched it since 1965, but around the edges and some enforcement issues, and we're going to match people that want to come here with employers, and we're going to get serious about enforcement against employers who are exploiting the immigrant population. Because immigrants are part of the fabric of our economy and our society, and we are a nation of immigrants, and we're going to keep doing that. We're not going to turn our backs on our history of being strong on immigration. Healthcare. It's healthcare, not health business. Am I right? So, my dad, or as my mother likes to call it, who's a retired nurse, it's currently sick care, because my dad's a retired doctor, also a Vietnam veteran. And when he practiced medicine as an internal medicine doctor, he would take time with his patients, 20 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes. The reason he's retired is because he cannot practice that way and actually give care to patients where he would find serious illnesses that then enable the patient to live another 10 or 15 years. You're not going to get that under the current healthcare system, and I support single payer. And the last thing is I've been a longtime advocate for women. We're 51% of the population, and we're only 16% of Congress. We're not even close to competitors, other countries that don't have the democracy that we have. And so for women, it's pretty simple. We're not going to be political footballs. We're human beings, and we're individuals, and that's where I stand on that issue. So when you think about what a senator does, they legislate, they advocate, and they work on foreign treaties. I have the broadest and dedicated experience in those three areas. As an advocate, bar none. I go to the mat for my clients every day. The asylum case that I won had maybe about a 5% chance of winning. I won that case. That's the type of advocacy that I would bring to the constituents of the Commonwealth, because they know that, again, I have that long and dedicated experience of sweating out every minute of that case and every minute of my day to make sure that they get what they need. And legislation, I know how federal legislation, the subsection of another subsection of another subsection, has unintended consequences for people and how to write those laws and how to make them better and more efficient. And with foreign treaties, I've worked with foreign embassies around the world. I have countries from all over the globe in very sensitive and diplomatic area of issues and helping those people deal with their problems. So, that is my background. Those are my ideas for the U.S. Senate, and I would love to have your support. And thank you very much for having me. Thank you to everyone here.
We also have today Herb Robinson, another candidate for the United States Senate.